course the zesty man has to be at work, but I'm gonna tighten down these ports with a ratchet. What's going on, guys? It's Toby here, and today we're gonna be installing a catch can. Let me not show my address like I usually do on the Camaro, so this is gonna be a very quick and easy tutorial as to how to do so. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing open. So throw it down right there. Let me get some keys. And I guess we're getting a quick little unboxing at the same time. Now this is from the company ADDW1. If I can use one hand to do this. Where's the zesty man, guys? We need the zesty man to hold the camera. Almost there. Okay. Was I right with the company name? It's ADDW1 or ADDW1. And here is the catch can. So let's get this bad boy open and get started with the install. Little update on the whole Whipple situation before we get started with the install. I'm still waiting for Whipple Superchargers to do the full inspection, and I actually already got like $1,000 back in refund money for the blown up Whipple. So I mean, it's kind of like a win-win situation. We just have to be patient, and then we can bolt on the Whipple right back on once I get it. Now I did mention that it's going to be powder coated, and I'm not going to reveal what the powder coat is going to look like. It's going to go crazy though, boys. Okay, so it looks like they gave me new hoses. I suppose this is going to run from the factory PCV. This is a oil breather in there. What else is in here? That's probably going to go from there, if I had to guess. And then got some fittings, hose clamps. Nothing intimidating there. More hoses. And more clamps. Alright, we need instructions to this thing because look, there's like a million pieces in here. It's like putting together some Legos. And then here is the actual oil catch can that we're going to be putting on the car. So if my guess is right, it'll probably sit like over here, you know, away from the belt and all that type of stuff. And it'll run from that factory PCV line. These instructions absolutely suck. And is this even for a Camaro? I mean, obviously I can make it work, but it doesn't even look like it's for a Camaro specifically. It looks like it's an all-car type of scenario because they have like a turbo setup on here. I don't have a turbo on this car, and it was advertised as for a 6.2 Camaro. So we'll figure it out though. It can't be that hard. First thing I'm doing right here is to put together these, what are these? The ports, they call it. So it's super simple. You just find them in the packaging and then just screw them in, obviously. I mean, it doesn't get more self-explanatory than that. You know what's actually kind of cool about this catch can is that you have like a dipstick on it, right? So if you unscrew it, you can see how much oil is in there, and it has like separate markers and stuff. If I can pull it out. So yeah, you can see that right there. You literally have a dipstick that comes with the catch can and tells you how much oil is in there. That's like a convenience factor right there.
Any issues with oil getting in, we basically...
Alright, I had to watch a quick little tutorial because obviously we don't have instructions for the Camaro. So it looks like the dirty side comes from the block. I don't know where this thing is going to mount up. And then the other side goes to the intake manifold or something like that. I don't know, we'll figure it out as we wire it and set up the plumbing. But I really wish I had bought a kit that was designed specifically for my use. And I don't know where this oil breather goes either. So, what's this mounting bracket? Like, this doesn't look like I can use this anywhere. Unless I'm wrong, but I doubt it. I mean, I don't see any mounting points. I already disconnected the PCV from the bottom there, from the top of the intake manifold. So I suppose what's going to happen is that this is going to go here, right? But they're two different fitting sizes, so I might have to use the other hose that they supplied me with. Like I just said, I took that out of the factory intake manifold port, and now I put it on the nipple here with the actual catch can. So that'll run from the bottom side right there. You can kind of see it from the block to the actual catch can, and that should be ready to go. It's actually getting dark on me real quick, but the setup that they want you to run is another hose to the intake manifold. I mean, to the actual air filter with this line, but that's not necessary on this car. So what I'm going to try and do is put on this breather so it kind of blocks it off and also acts as a plug at the same time because we won't be using the second port. But I'm not sure if it'll screw in all the way. It is getting dark on me, fellas, but let me test something real quick. So they supplied me this hose. That'll be perfect. I'll use a hose clamp like that. And then this side will go right here. Still don't know where I'm going to freaking mount up the oil catch can, though. It's probably just going to hang around there and cause some false knock. Or I'll put some zip ties and mount it to something. Definitely got dark on me. I really hate this daylight saving stuff, but I'm just putting a hose clamp on the intake manifold side for the hose so that I know it's not going to fly off, you know. Just need to secure it down. And I forgot the, what is it? I can't even see. Oh, it's a 7mm, of course. These cars actually use a lot of 7mm for everything. You can almost take the whole car apart with just a 7mm. And yeah, that should be good. I mean, that's not going anywhere. Here's what I got going so far. So we have the catch can, we have the breather on that one side because we're not going to the actual intake box. That's not necessary in this car. And we're gonna go from the intake manifold with this one right here. Devin is calling me the zesty man. Someone hit his car actually and ran the other day. But we're gonna put it right here on that side of the barb. If you guys can see, maybe I can use my phone to like the flash. Yeah, there you go. And that's where it'll go. Mosquitoes are going absolutely insane right now, but I took off the oil breather so I could have more room. I definitely won't be able to record this while I tighten it with the ratchet, but yeah, take the ratchet with a 7mm and tighten down that bolt too on the hose clamp, and you're almost done with the install. It's the freaking Zesty Man. Zesty Man.
You're like, oh, it's the Zesty Man.
Oh my god, that's where that lady hit you?
Yeah, I have anxiety about it. I don't want to think about it.
Bruh. You think that could be buffed out?
Yeah, but there's still scratches on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's gonna be repainted. Dude, there's so many mosquitoes. I finished up everything with the install. So you go from the intake manifold to this port right here. Then you go from the PCV on the bottom. You can see this, right? When I'm grabbing that hose that is below the intake manifold, it goes to that port. Everything is tightened down, breather's on. But guess what? This kit does not come with a bracket for this car. So I think I'm just gonna like shove it down there somewhere. I don't know. I'm gonna have to build something custom for that, but that's stupid. Custom. Maybe you could build like, no, because then that'll tap the frame on the shifts. That'll cause a lot of false knock. This is what you get when you order a random zest line, right?
Or when you do it yourself.
No. if I had the mounting bracket,
Just kidding.
we'd have no issue here.
Yeah, they just L catch can with no bracket.
Yeah, like imagine, you know, if it ran like over here, it'd be perfect. Like if you had a bracket that sat right here.
Yeah, it'd just hang out.
Yeah. But no. Dude, these mosquitoes, man, we gotta go to war with them again.
It's because we're in Florida.
Probably just gonna zip tie it to the intake. That's my best option. Or maybe like over here on the plastic bits. I don't want it tapping the aprons because that can cause some false knock on the shifts. So I'm gonna clean up the wiring and then zip tie it. I don't have zip ties. We have to make a supply run, but I'm not doing that today because I gotta study for my finals tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go ahead and reroute everything because I moved the catch can to this corner right here, right behind the air box. I think it just looks cleaner and it's more secure, and it's kind of being held by the MAF, and I think we'll actually have clearance to close up that hood. As it was before, I don't think the hood would close, so I'm gonna take this one out real quick and run that straight up and not put it underneath the cooling hose for the Whipple. But yeah, there's the catch can. It's installed. I think that's a lot better of a place for it to be temporarily until I zip tie it down, and we'll run to the store and secure everything before we finalize this install. I'm gonna start the car real quick and then we'll just show the install and exactly what I did tomorrow when I zip tied the catch can down to the actual intake so you guys can see it, because right now you can't see anything. And get the car started, and I'll also explain before I catch you all tomorrow why it's a good idea to run a catch can. Basically, it's to prevent any sort of blow-by when you're on the throttle, I'm pretty sure. So oil gets sent from that PCV valve and it gets recirculated with the stock setup back into the intake manifold. So if you do have any blow-by, it'll go straight back into the intake manifold and down into the engine. Now, the point of the catch can is to catch that oil that is resulting from blow-by and prevent it from going back into the intake manifold by dispersing it in the actual catch can itself. It's kind of hard to understand. Alrighty, so picking up the vlog, we have to tweak a few things with this catch can setup. I actually took it off the car because I needed to do some more research. So I'm not supposed to put on that oil breather like I did, and we're supposed to run a different vacuum line to the intake before the throttle body. So I'm thinking this will work right here. I don't know, we'll test it out, and then we'll actually get the catch can set up for real and functional 100%. Before, how I had it was okay, but we weren't maximizing how it was designed, and basically it's designed to take some from the intake too, or have a reference from the intake. So we're gonna fix that up and get it done. I actually did pretty well on my exams. I ended with straight A's this semester, so I got like 90s and that type of stuff. I got 100 on one of my exams. I just had to focus, so That's why we're picking it up tonight here in the garage. I actually went on their website and it makes a lot more sense now. So I definitely shouldn't have used the instructions that I had on that paper that came with it. If you simply go on the website, you can find what you need to set up. So there's the catch can on the right hand side, and then you can see the breather that I was using on the catch can incorrectly goes right there. And you also set up the line to the intake right there. So this should be super simple. I'll knock it out right now, and then we'll actually have proper install of this catch can from the ADDW1 company. I wish I had somebody to film this, but the breather that I was incorrectly using before actually goes right here. So we're gonna disconnect this factory hose, just like this, all right? And stick the breather on top of there. All right, that's literally perfect. It's not going anywhere. So it's tightened down, just hit it with the 7mm, and now we're gonna set up the line to the intake and get the catch can mounted up perfectly. I'm completely not gonna need this anymore, so we're gonna reuse like the actual clamp portion, but we don't need the hose because they gave me a brand new one, and it's like a different size barb that goes to the catch can. So this is what they gave me in the box. That's what we're gonna use. Of course, the Zesty man has to be at work, but I'm gonna tighten down these ports with a ratchet just because it's a better idea to like actually get some torque on them so that they don't spin off and stuff. Because like, look at this, right? I can totally spin that off. Now, if I torque it down, it's gonna be tight. So this is what size? 3/4. I'm just applying like barely any torque to it, and it'll be perfect. Let's do this one. This might be a different size. Oh no, it's not. They're all the same. I'm gonna take the actual hose from the crankcase or the block and attach it right here on this barb that says single port, like we did last time. That's the one thing I did correctly. So you gotta slide it in there. Pretty self-explanatory from here. We're gonna take the smaller diameter hose, attach it to this barb right here, and then run that to the intake manifold. Now this is going to go to the intake itself on that barb that I showed earlier. Let me add some light right here so you all can see what I'm talking about. It'll make it a lot easier. That one right there is what I was speaking about, if I can point my finger down there. That one right there. Almost done connecting this side right now to the actual intake manifold, and then we'll sort out the last line. All right, that should be good. I don't see that coming off. And just like that, I finished up with pretty much everything besides assembling the mount. So this last one right here, this very thick hose goes from here to the intake. As you can see right here on that port that I was showing earlier. We don't really have light, but I'll try and do my best. So I clamped it down with those hose clamps, and everything is set and ready to go besides the mount. I think I'm gonna use this bolt right here for the mount. Just for reference, this is exactly where the mount goes. So this like 10 right here, that factory 10mm bolt for the bumper is where you put it on. You're also gonna need to use a considerably small Allen key to get out the tops right here so you can put on the mount. I know it's kind of hard to see, but once I get it all assembled, it'll probably make more sense. I'm removing that right now, if it'll focus. Alrighty, so that's exactly what I was talking about with those 2 screws for the bracket, and it actually is a pretty good design. I don't know why I didn't see that bracket earlier, but it was within the packaging. Probably glanced over it. The car just looks absolutely insane, but I finished up with the final result. We ran the catch can, and I want to do a quick little recap. So you have your bracket right there, obviously. Have the catch can. We have this line, this exact line running to the actual crankcase. The intake manifold line goes on top, and that comes over to here on the further left-hand side. And then this line right here goes to the actual intake. So that's gonna do it for this install video of the ADDW1 oil catch can. Like, we are not done with the install. I actually have a massive vacuum leak, so I'll start the car and show you guys. You can hear it. No check engine light though, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, you can hear the hissing noise. If I squeeze this hose, it goes away. So I'm thinking it's because I didn't put an O-ring on this side. So we're gonna have to take it apart again, put in an O-ring and see if it fixes it. Now I'm also supposed to put in these check valves to make sure that oil doesn't go back into the intake. So we have to cut up the hose, and I don't have scissors on me right now. So I'm gonna have to get this vacuum leak sorted, and then I'll put these check valves in. I'm in the process of taking apart that catch can, but literally these are the O-rings that they give you. I didn't see it in the packaging once again, so we're gonna pop them in. As you can see, and I'm not gonna show the same process over and over again because it's pretty self-explanatory, but I put on the rubber O-ring, and we're gonna put in these valves again one more time into the catch can. I literally just reconnected everything to test it out with the new O-rings in there, and guess what? It's still freaking leaking. I don't get it. I literally just dropped one of the ports down in the engine bay, figuring out why there's still a vacuum leak. So honestly, I'm just gonna call it. You know, we gave it our best shot. That is how you install the catch can. Hopefully you don't have a vacuum leak. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. We'll fix it in the next video.